The most profound errors men commit in relationships are seldom overt or theatrical. They are subtle, cloaked in the guise of devotion, empathy, or restraint. They appear as noble concessions, but in truth are acts of self-sabotage. A man does not lose a woman's respect due to deficiencies in wealth, stature, or appearance. He loses it the instant he relinquishes his self-respect. Tragically, many men fail to recognize this erosion as it unfolds. They believe they are demonstrating compassion or preserving harmony. Yet, each time you compromise too deeply, permit a boundary to be crossed, or acquiesce against your inner conviction, a fragment of your dignity fades. When a woman perceives that you fail to safeguard your own worth, she cannot feel secure in your presence. This is not about exerting control. It is about upholding principles you refuse to abandon, regardless of your affection or fear of loss. For when you barter your self-respect for her validation, you forfeit both. In this narrative, I will unveil 6 critical missteps men must avoid with women, not due to arbitrary rules, but because psychology and experience exact a toll for these errors. Listen closely, for by evading these pitfalls, you preserve not only her esteem but your own intrinsic strength. First, she may not initiate contact because a foundation of trust remains unbuilt. When a woman refrains from texting or calling first, many men spiral into anxiety, assuming disinterest or competition. Yet, the reality is often more nuanced. Frequently, it is not a lack of interest but an absence of sufficient comfort. Comfort is the cornerstone of connection. Consider your own instincts. When meeting someone new, even someone intriguing, would you repeatedly initiate contact without assurance of reciprocity? Likely not. The fear of rejection looms large, and women experience this acutely. Picture her at night, phone in hand, drafting a message only to delete it. Why? Uncertainty about your response, whether you'll match her enthusiasm or dismiss her effort, stifles her initiative. That hesitation is not rejection but a need for safety. Men often err by escalating pressure in response to this silence, sending multiple messages, or expecting premature commitment. Such actions smother the budding connection. To inspire her to reach out, foster an environment where she feels unjudged for doing so. Achieve this through consistent, non-clinging engagement, calm and assured, not frantic or needy. Like nurturing a plant, offer steady care without overwhelming it. Over time, trust blossoms and with it, her willingness to initiate. When you question her lack of outreach, reflect, have I cultivated enough trust for her to feel secure in taking that step? Women seek not only attraction but the assurance to express it. Without that foundation, expect her to remain reserved. Second, honor her silence rather than resisting it. Silence unsettles most men, triggering overanalysis. Did I err? Has her interest faded? Is another man involved? This anxiety often leads to a grave mistake, challenging her silence instead of respecting it. A woman's silence is not always dismissal. Often, it is a test of your composure. She observes how you navigate her withdrawal. Will you react with frustration or flood her with messages? Or will you remain steady, unshaken by her pause? Imagine texting her in the morning and receiving no reply by evening. Many men resort to petulance, sending passive-aggressive remarks like, "Too busy for me." Such responses alienate her, implying she owes you attention. A man who respects silence chooses a different path. He remains unruffled, continuing his life without chasing validation. This restraint signals strength. Silence acts as a mirror, reflecting your self-discipline. Panic reveals fragility, composure conveys stability. Stability intrigues her, prompting curiosity. Why isn't he rattled? Why doesn't he pursue like others? This intrigue often draws her back. Respecting silence does not mean cold detachment, but granting space while remaining grounded. If she responds late, reply without resentment. If she withdraws, refrain from smothering her. Match her energy, not out of spite but to preserve your dignity. Women admire men who value themselves, and your calm in her silence proves precisely that. By respecting her pause, you demonstrate that her attention enhances but does not define you. This shift transforms the dynamic, She begins to pursue your presence. When silence stirs unease, embrace it as a chance to reveal your strength. Third, cease being her mere amusement. If she rarely initiates, she may view you as a diversion rather than a priority. Recognizing this frees you from playing the fool. Often, she contacts you out of boredom, knowing you'll respond promptly, relegating you to a fallback option. While humor is valuable, relying solely on it reduces you to a jester. She may laugh and flirt, but without depth, she won't see you as a serious prospect. Like fast food, entertainment satisfies briefly but lacks substance. Women pursue men who offer more depth, purpose, and value. To shift this, stop performing for her amusement. Share your aspirations and engage with intention. By doing so, she feels your absence when you withhold excess attention and realizes your focus is not guaranteed. This recalibration prompts her to initiate, as she senses your attention must be earned. Women value men who balance levity with substance, who inspire trust and respect beyond fleeting laughs. Fourth, embrace the strength of restraint. Withdrawing effort feels counterintuitive, even weak to many men. Yet, true power lies in measured disengagement. In a one-sided pursuit, you exhaust yourself while she remains passive. By pulling back, you shift the dynamic. She notices your absence, prompting reflection. This isn't about ghosting but recalibrating effort to match hers. If she never initiates, stop always doing so. Create space for her to act. Restraint reveals her intentions. If she values you, she'll engage. If not, she'll fade. Either outcome clarifies your path. Crucially, withdraw with dignity, not bitterness. Resentful disengagement repels, calm restraint commands respect. Women are drawn to men unafraid of loss, as fearlessness exudes strength. When you step back, she reconsiders your worth. Balance is key. Offer enough to remain open, but not so much as to carry the connection alone. Fifth, cultivate a life independent of her validation. Men who fixate on her messages are often ignored, as neediness repels. A woman does not wish to be your sole source of fulfillment. She seeks a partner with a vibrant, self-sufficient life. Obsessing over her silence signals emptiness. Instead, pursue your ambitions, nurture friendships, and enrich your days. When your life is full, her messages become a complement, not a necessity. Ironically, this independence often prompts her outreach. A man immersed in purpose is magnetic, as his attention becomes a privilege, not a given. Women pursue those who move forward, not those who wait. Shift your focus from her silence to your growth, and her texts will follow naturally. Sixth, accept that some women are simply uninterested. This truth stings, but it liberates. Persistent silence often signals indifference, not shyness or games. If she valued you, she would engage, even sporadically. Recognizing this preserves your energy, redirecting it from futile pursuits. Not every connection blooms, and that's acceptable. Distinguish hesitation, which may soften, from indifference, which remains unyielding. Accepting indifference empowers you to invest where effort is reciprocated. This selectivity enhances your allure, as women value men who don't chase the apathetic. Embrace this reality. It's not defeat but freedom. Ultimately, your worth cannot hinge on her initiative. Seeking validation through her actions cedes your power. A woman's silence is a reflection, not a verdict. Build trust where it's lacking, remain steady in her pauses, and prioritize substance over amusement. If she's indifferent, walk away with dignity. These choices forge strength, not in pursuit but in restraint. Women admire men unshaken by silence, whose lives are so fulfilling that their attention is a privilege. The true challenge is self-mastery, controlling your emotions, choosing dignity over desperation. Pass this test, and you earn not only her respect but your own. If she doesn't initiate, assess whether trust is absent, patience is tested, or interest is lacking. Regardless, remain resolute. Your value is not dictated by her actions, but by your response to them. Women are drawn to consistency and composure. If she values you, she'll step forward. If not, her silence speaks clearly. Your worth is not measured by her effort, but by your integrity in its absence. Be a man who stands firm, who doesn't crave validation, who can walk away. When you cease chasing, what you truly deserve begins to pursue you.